Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Eric Yates. I'm the Chief Advancement Officer here at Williston Northampton School. We are pleased to be celebrating recipients of 5 awards from the great classes of 1968, 2003, and the still here great class of 1973. We also are honoring a longtime administrator of the school, and Bob will be talking a little bit about that later. But first, it's my pleasure to welcome Head of School Bob Hill to the podium to give you an update on Williston today.
Sure. Hi everyone, and welcome. Welcome also to trustees, former trustees who are in the room. What difference a year makes. Last year, today, I was coming down with COVID, so I was feeling kind of junky, and I had lost my voice, so Eric had to do all of the readings and discussion points last year, and I think we found out that I was the guy that got most of the senior admin team. I gave them the gift of COVID last year, so I don't think I made it to the tent tonight a year ago. So anyway, welcome. This is a great event, and for us. We've had a wonderful year at the school. I particularly like talking to alumni because it's one of the very few times where if I talk, people actually listen to me. So thank you for being here and thank you for listening. We had a high-flying year and it was a very productive one. And one of the key things, and I left some of these up on the piano, grab them if you want to, but one of the key aspects of the year that was actually very productive was the voting in by the trustees of our new strategic plan, which is aptly called Our People, Our Purpose. And I gotta give a loud shout out to somebody sitting in the back here, John Booth, class of '83, who's a tireless trustee for Williston. And he made the huge mistake of having some free time. And he said, I think I can lead this strategic plan process. And he was in between jobs, and then the new job came. So he was doing a new job as head of the upper school in Boston at Dexter South. At the same time, he and our consultant, John Green, were driving this massive year-long project to pull a strategic plan together. So Boother, shout out, I owe you a scotch or something. And I know I'm an inveterate sports fan. So if you just bear with me, this was an amazing year to enjoy athletics at Williston. From the football team, the varsity football team, which played for a bowl championship for the first time in a long time. We came up just short, really, against Loomis here on our own field. From that team, we've got kids going on to play in college, anywhere from Division I, like Harvard, to Trinity College down in Hartford, Connecticut. To an actual bowl player at University of Buffalo. Amazing to watch these young men and their terrific group. Can't talk about sports without talking about girls varsity hockey repeating. And you're like, how hard is that to do? Well, it's pretty hard to be a repeat champion in anything. Girls hockey has really flown in the last decade or so in New England boarding school. And Krista Talbot, who's reunioning this year, and coached the team to an undefeated season. So one loss the year before, and the only way I guess you can improve is to run the rink, and she did that. Boys swimming, repeating in a national championship, or New England championship. Girls water polo, repeating in a New England championship. So, boys soccer played in the finals. I could keep going on that, but then people say, hey, what else is going on? We had a wonderful musical production of SpongeBob this winter. We have kids going off to some of the most selective colleges around the country, as you can imagine. I'll just name some of those for you, just so you hear the names. I got to give a nod to Boston College, Chuck, Brown, Bowdoin, Haverford, Harvard, Wake Forest, Williams, Wesleyan, NYU, BU, Emory, Tufts. It's a list that just goes on and spans large public universities all around the country to small liberal arts colleges here in New England. It's wonderful, and I think what you see is that the talent of our students get recognized as they apply out, really wherever they apply out. That was my quick update. I just want to share that, I feel in my ending my 13th year as head of school, and I'm going to speak to Chuck at the end of a 24-year career, and I look at all you here from alumni years throughout the decades, you know, we're all blessed, in my opinion, to have as our connection point the Williston Northampton School. You know, I know that we have a board chair, John Hazen White, who does a much better job than I of making that point. But I do need to make it today. I need to make it to y'all sitting here. It's exciting to give these awards to those of you who've had such an impact, to be able to honor you and to be able to show that the connections of the past are relevant to exactly what we're doing here today. So I thank you, award winners, and I thank you all in the audience for being here. And I think I'll turn it back over to you, Eric, to get us going.
Thank you, Bob. I'd also just be remiss, since I'm the advancement officer, to also just thank all of you for your support of the school financially. The Williston Builds campaign is entering its final year. We're about to cross what we hope is our campaign goal of $70 million, and that is really in large part due to the alumni that have been so supportive. So thank you very, very much. So our first award is the Founders Award. It was created by the merger of the Whitaker Men Award and the Samuel and Emily Williston Award, and honors the founders and principals of the Northampton School for Girls and Williston Academy. It is awarded to an individual whose loyalty, devotion, and service to the Williston Northampton School has been outstanding. Michael Hirsch, class of '73, was a 4-year day student who participated in theater while at Williston. He has been an Elmtree. What?
I was a 4-year boarder.
Ah, 4-year boarder. Look, we're already off to a great start.
Does he still get the award, Eric?
Yeah, he's an asterisk now. We had selected it based on you being a day student, but we'll let it slide. He's been an Elmtree member since 2016 and joined our Heads Visiting Council in 2018. Michael's donated to the school for 35 consecutive years and attended every class reunion since 1993. After graduating from Williston in 1973, Michael received a degree in chemistry from Columbia University, briefly attended UCLA for graduate work in physical chemistry before embarking on a distinguished 45-year career in aerospace engineering. Michael held various engineering and management roles throughout his career on communications satellites, weather reporting systems, and scientific observation missions. A particular interest were science instruments and specifically space telescopes. He was privileged to work on several of NASA's great observatories, including the Compton Gamma Ray Observatory and the Chandra X-ray Observatory. Capstone of his career was his involvement with the James Webb Space Telescope, from the proposal through the build phase, where he served as risk manager and manager of mission excellence. Since his retirement in 2013, Michael has continued to consult for aerospace companies. In addition to his ongoing work with our Heads Visiting Council, Michael's volunteered in a variety of organizations, including leading the South Bay Santa Monica chapter of Math Counts, serving as a board member, VP, and finally treasurer of the El Camino College Foundation, and teaching wood turning classes at the college and leading the local wood turning guild. I've really enjoyed getting to know Michael over the years as a volunteer for Williston, as a class volunteer, someone who really made a very positive impact on the school. So it's a great honor to invite Michael Hirsch, class of 1973, up to the podium for his speech.
I have to find it now. First, before I start reading this, I want to give a shout out to my classmates, the class of '73. They were certainly a major part of my experience here, so I want to welcome them to this event. We all have. Let me take a breath here. We all have different memories and takeaways from Williston. For some, it's a focus on sports or the arts. For me, the school represented a very safe place to grow. mind and body, with a number of exceptional teachers who cared enough to take the time to open my mind to other perspectives. Bob Couch was a dorm master and algebra teacher who reinforced my self-confidence. Bob Cody, and I hope some of you remember all these people, but Bob Cody taught me, I'm sorry, John Cody, and I'm sorry, it says John here, so. John Cody was my pre-calc teacher, and he believed in getting students involved in computers. And one of the things I particularly remember was when I first started on campus, we were doing time-sharing work at UMass. By the time we got to my junior year of high school at Williston, we had bought a PDP-8E, and we were actually programming in BASIC and Fortran on that computer, and that was on the second floor of the schoolhouse. Along with John Fine and others, I don't need, we got the PDP and installed it and actually learned how to boot it up by setting the addresses to actually access the memory that was hand-wired. Very cool hardware. Anyways, you know I'm a geek. Phyllis Beekman was my first chemistry teacher who taught me to observe science firsthand. Glenn Swanson was a history teacher and friend who helped me hone some of my analytical skills. Richard Henschey's questions drove me to get much more out of the literature I was reading. Really, well, I enjoyed the backstage activities of theater, and that was really, I liked being backstage. I liked doing lights, I liked building sets. Richard Gregory persuaded me to try out for a play called Mr. Roberts. And I actually got a part and had to go on the stage. The most terrifying experience I had. I did get my lines out, but I really realized I did not like being in the spotlight. Through all of this, I developed the confidence and skills that have been instrumental throughout my life. As I've participated in the Heads Visiting Council, I've been impressed by the strides Williston has made in recognizing and providing an open, supportive environment to help students grow to their full potential. Clearly, I appreciate what Williston has done for me. The Founders Award is a special confirmation that my modest efforts have been well received, and I want to thank you.
So created in 2015 to honor the school's 175th anniversary, the Williston Northampton Medal is presented to an individual who has made significant achievements and contributions to their profession and/or community, shown a commitment to professional growth, or is recognized for leadership in their field. Their contributions do not need to be publicly renowned, but represent important creative effort or accomplishment with professional, societal, or educational value. Elizabeth Wells McIlvain's class of 1973 is a member of the fourth generation of the Wells family to own and operate the Homer Laughlin China Company, now known as the Fiesta Tableware Company and operating out of Newell, West Virginia. Chances are you know or would certainly recognize this colorfully iconic brand and the largest domestic tableware manufacturer in the United States. Their forever popular dishes featuring Art Deco styling and boldly solid colors like scarlet, turquoise, sunflower, butterscotch, and mulberry have inspired Fiestaware fanatics throughout the world. Since 1936, a total of 55 colors have been introduced into the Fiesta line, and the company continues a tradition of introducing one new color to the dinnerware collection each year. The class of 1973's 50th reunion 2023 Fiestaware color, by the way, is jade. Liz was a four-year student here. She joined Northampton School for Girls in the fall of 1969 as a ninth grader, and after the merger, spent 2 years at the newly constituted Williston Northampton School. After graduating from Bethany College in West Virginia, Liz joined the family company. She held various supervisory roles in the plant, culminating as superintendent of the hotel division before taking a break from her professional life to raise 3 daughters, two of whom now work for the company. In 1998, Liz became the first female member of the company's board of directors. She officially rejoined the company in 2007 as a vice president and became its first woman president and CEO in 2012, succeeding her brother in that role. Under Liz's leadership, the Fiesta Tableware Company and the American-made Fiesta brand has flourished, celebrating the 150th anniversary of the company and 85th anniversary of the Fiesta brand in 2021. Liz was also personally inducted into West Virginia University's Business Hall of Fame last year in recognition of people with strong West Virginia ties who've made a significant impact on the business landscape. In recognition of Liz's professional accomplishments and her leadership of this historic company, I'm honored to invite Elizabeth Wells McIlvaine, class of 1973, to the podium.
Well, you said everything I was going to say, so we might have a little problem here, or you might have to hear a couple of things again. But thank you. Thank you, Headmaster Hill. I appreciate this. The reunion committee and the of who I've spoken with, Ellie Ballard and Steve Hoyt, Tammy Niels Walker, Eric Yates, and Asia Talarico. I appreciate everything you did to get me here because it was a struggle. I had some personal problems, and I finally decided last week I had to come because I've been to award ceremonies and the recipient hasn't been there, and I just have found that to be a little hard to take because when the school is honoring you for such a prestigious award, you should be there to accept it.
Yeah.
To say I was overwhelmed and honestly speechless to get the notification that I had been selected for this very prestigious award is an understatement. I have always worked hard, but I will tell you right now, my teachers that I had here at Williston would not remember me as a stellar student. So, but I overcame those things, and working for a family's business is really changes things because I live in a very small community, and the pottery industry was huge at one time, with over 200 potteries at one time. Now we are the only surviving pottery in the area. There are smaller ones around the world, but ours is, or not around the United States, but the Homer Laughlin China Company, or now known as Fiesta Tableware Company, is the largest. As Eric said, we've been in business for over 150 years. Fiesta's been in production off and on since 1936. My grandfather introduced, or had been in California, had seen these brightly colored dishes and came back to the factory and and instructed the ceramic engineer to develop the colors and our design people, and said, make something. It's the middle of the Depression. Make people happy when they're having dinner. And that is the story of how Fiesta was started. And fortunately, it's been ongoing for some time now. As I look back on my high school career, both at Northampton School for Girls and here at Williston, I have been introduced and been around some of the most fantastic teachers and educators. And I have so many mentors that have helped me develop my my integrity, honesty, community, and I'm so great. I'm gratified by what I learned, and I always saw passion in all my educators, the passion for the school, the passion for the students, the passion for what they were teaching. It helped me. It helped me because I strove to be as they were. To name a few of my past teachers who, as Michael said, weren't please, I hope everybody remembers them. But Mr. Carpenter, he was so passionate, and he loved all of his students. I'm using a little cliche here, but the three Marys, and those of you that are my age understand. Brownie, Karen O'Neill, and Swanee. They were all very important to me in my education here. Again, need to thank you. I'm so gracious about this award. Thank you so much. You brought me back here. I hadn't been here in 25 years, and I'm so thankful to be here.
The Daniel and Jane Carpenter Award was established in 2006 by Daniel M. Kane, class of '64, in honor of the late Daniel and Jane Carpenter and their commitment to and support of the Williston Northampton School, its students, parents, and alumni. This award is given to an active volunteer or volunteers who, through effort and energy, as well as financial contribution, has had a substantial impact on the school. The class of 1968 reunion committee certainly are worthy recipients, a collection of dedicated alumni and friends that stay connected by continually supporting the school with their time, energy, and financial commitment. 5 years ago, this record-breaking class of 1968 set a new high-water mark for 50th reunion attendance, 50th reunion gift participation, and 50th reunion gift dollars. Today, 5 years later, in honor of their 55th, they still are setting reunion attendance and giving records. They also launched a special 55th reunion initiative to create the class of 1968 Endowed Fund for Financial Aid. To date, they have raised $777,000 for this endowed fund. And they'll begin to provide financial aid to a student in the fall of 2024. This 55th class has also continued its generous support of the Williston Northampton Fund, our annual fund. To date, $68,000 has been committed for this year, ending June 30. To date, 30 classmates have contributed to the Williston Northampton Fund or the Class of '68 Fund for Financial Aid, and the majority have given to both. Two of the committee members, unfortunately, Ted Babcock and Don Plock, are not able to be in attendance today, but it's my great honor to invite the other 5 members of the 1968 Reunion Committee up here to receive the Daniel and Jane Carpenter Award: Jim Kane, Mark Griggs, Kent the Mole Haverly, Chip Keeney, and Paul Wainwright.
Eric, I sent $50 in. Is that in here?
It's good fun, and all you guys are used to this already. There you go.
When I was here, I was on your side of the camera.
Well, that's true. That's right. Doing a much better job as well. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right, good.
Good morning.
I'm here to tell you the real reason our class has been so successful. You may have heard the rumor that there was a phantom on the Williston campus in the late 1960s. And I'm here to tell you it's not a rumor, it's real, it's true. Because this morning, when I awoke, there was this envelope that somebody had slipped under my door in the night. It is a letter from the phantom. I know it's genuine because it is typed on a mechanical typewriter, which was the phantom's modus operandi for communicating with the administrative staff. And it is addressed to a Mr. Robert W. Hill III, head of school, the Williston Northampton School. And I'm going to read this because I think it's fairly educational to understand why our class is such a great class. It reads, "Dear Mr. Hill," by the way, have you ever received a letter from the Phantom?
No, the Phantom's not, and certainly not on a typewriter.
You have no idea what you're missing.
Coming.
Dear Mr. Hill, many have asked why the Williston Academy class of 1968 is so special. They have speculated that it was perhaps the leadership of the administration or the wisdom of the faculty, maybe the quality of the athletic programs, or maybe even the food in the dining hall. While many of these attributes are part of the fond memories of the class of 1968, they pale by comparison with the real reason. He continues, "I am the phantom of the Williston class of 1968. I was there the night Jeff Roberts accidentally fell over the stairwell railing in the rear of the dining hall with a fully loaded tray of dirty dishes. I stood watch the night that the plates disappeared from the dining hall. It was I who placed the 27 clues concerning the whereabouts of those plates that crisscrossed the campus, leading nowhere. I inspired and engineered the 8-month project to fill what is now the Cox dining room area with crumpled newspapers during the 1-hour interval between night watchman visits to that room. And last but not least, it was I who caused the late great Mr. Gregory, then the dorm master of Ford Hall, to not wake up during that mission. Mr. Hill, my advice to you is that when strange things happen on your campus, and I hope they still do not look to the troublemakers with intentions to dole out disciplinary actions. Rather, look to the quiet, studious members of your student body and thank them for their accomplishments and expressions of teamwork and ingenuity. Because these are the elements of their Williston experience that will unite them as future alumni of this school. So in closing, yes, Mr. Hill, there is a phantom. I live in the hearts and minds of the classmates I inspired 55 years ago to perform clever, daring, covert acts of ingenuity in the dark of the night, fueled by the vigor and foolishness of youth, and fueled by the wisdom and success of old age. I live on today as the inspirational force behind acts of love and support from the alumni of the Williston class of 1968 for a school that made an indelible positive impact on their lives. Very truly yours, the phantom of the class of 1968.
Created in 2015 for the school's 175th anniversary, the Alumni Trailblazer Award is presented to a graduate of the school under the age of 40 who has demonstrated significant professional achievement, contributions to their profession and/or community, and continued promise of success in the future. Kimberly Lindsay Gordon, class of 2003, children's book author and publishing entrepreneur, is the founder and chief creative officer of 5D Media, a multimedia publishing company that is committed to promoting literacy in marginalized communities through innovative and cutting-edge content. At Williston, this 3-year boarding student from Franklin, Mass. Channeled her considerable energy into athletics, captaining the track team for 3 years and playing field hockey and basketball. But Kimberly's passion for writing was first cultivated in Williston's Writers Workshop program. She obtained her expertise in integrated media through her subsequent studies at Simmons College and Columbia University. After gaining experience in digital marketing and content creation in the education and publishing sectors, Kimberly established 5D Media to create impactful media initiatives focused on diversity and inclusion, recognizing the industry's lack of representation. Under Kimberly's guidance, 5D Media has published numerous books and workbooks featuring diverse characters, contributed to various streaming TV shows, and spearheaded several multimedia initiatives and campaigns online and in the metaverse. Kimberly's contributions to prestigious organizations such as the College Board, WGBH American Experience, Read Business Information, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, the New York City Public School System, ASCAP, the African American Day Parade, the Schomburg Center, among others, all align with her mission to make education more reliable and accessible. She has earned several awards and accolades for her work, including the Scholastic Gold Key Award, the Maya Angelou Award, and the Charles Whitten Award. I'm honored to invite Kimberly Lindsay Gordon, class of 2003, to the podium.
Familiar faces. Thank you, 03 class, for showing up with me. First, the cell phone rang, and it was a 413 area code. It was too familiar to send a voicemail. When Wilson calls, you answer. So I did. On the call, I was presented the opportunity to receive the Alumni Trailblazer Award for my 20th high school reunion, and I accepted immediately. So thank you. The call lasted about 2 minutes or less, but it led to months of self-discovery. So what happened after the call? Second, I questioned, why me? I spent 3 years on Williston campus where I grew into a strong, opinionated, passionate young woman. And since my days at Williston, I have longed to be more and do more and make an impact. Am I just a woman, just doing everything I can do to accomplish my vision? I thought. Third, I shouted, "Hey Siri, what is a trailblazer?" In response, a trailblazer is a person who blazes a trail for others to follow through unsettled country or wilderness, a pathfinder. Fourth, I thought, all of my idols are trailblazers. I would love to be one day. Fifth, I questioned, but why would anyone refer to me as a trailblazer? Sixth, I thought, because I am. So, how did I finally come to that conclusion? As a teenager at Williston, I was allowed to explore my skills and talents enough to recognize that all I ever needed to be was myself. I was allowed to be a member of the Writers Workshop, a club where I learned to express myself without hesitation. As a multi-sport athlete, I was able to do the same. I was encouraged to nurture my passions and analyze what brought meaning to my life. I was also allowed to write my senior history project paper about minstrel shows and share my family history of living in segregated neighborhoods through my senior project. Williston allowed me to take risks and create a self-portrait in an art class on a mirror, half of a self-portrait, with different images of my heroes and family members. It gave me inspiration. Williston gave me options. This acceptance and encouragement gave me the courage to set goals and make decisions aligned with my core values and aspirations. It gave me the confidence to have a vision that goes beyond the conventional norms and the desire to make a difference by creating tools and pathways that did not exist in the past. Wilson armed me with the confidence to set my purpose, the structure necessary to run a company, and the discipline to stay true to my mission by any means necessary. So what did I do? I built a publishing and media company dedicated to giving option to those who have very little. I'm committed to inspiring my generation and their children, from releasing picture books with strong female leads and addiction recovery resources for patients of color in rehabilitation centers, to create digital shorts in New York City for the public school students, featuring non-traditional minority characters that break stereotypes. Then later, the birth of my community literacy events organization, where we give away books and free educational resources in underserved neighborhoods throughout the country. And our newest venture of building AI exhibits with various museums that cover little-known minority and women history. And now, today, Williston continues to support me and let me know that I am on the right path. So thank you so much. Also, today, you have poured fuel on my fire to be more and do more and to be that trailblazer that always wanted to be. Thank you.
Holy smokes, following that crowd is, it's not, I will say, did I get the color right? Was it jade for 73? Yeah, jade? Don't get jaded. English teacher. It's an honor for me, and we talk about connections and longevity, to be able to present an award to Chuck McCullough, who is our retiring CFO after 24 years of service at Williston. The Distinguished Service Award is the preeminent service award which the school bestows upon members of our community. Since its inception in 1959, the Distinguished Service Award has been given to individuals who have shown through their actions an exceptional measure of devotion to the Williston Northampton School. So Chuck, as I said, goes back a long ways, and from the beginning of his independent school career, he has been a presence in all the professional organizations at the local, state, and national levels. Always leading by example, Chuck is motivated by a keen desire to make things better. Operating systems, policies, handbooks, relationships, spreadsheets, you name it. While in the service of the Williston Northampton School, he skillfully managed all aspects of the business office and its staff, as well as physical plant operations, the technology department, campus safety, human resources, and auxiliary programs that include dining services, the children's center, the campus store, and summer programs. We're replacing him with one person. During his tenure, he opened the school's first children's center. He's completed multiple times. He's completed tax-exempt bond issues for the school. He coordinated our first master plan. The list of what he's done here is truly phenomenal, and it goes on and on. He's worked closely with the Board of Trustees as the liaison for the Finance Committee and the Investment Committee. Chuck's had an incredible impact on the city of East Hampton and the community at large. He was the co-founder, this is amazing to me, he was a co-founder with a couple of other folks in the community of a nonprofit initiative to support the local public schools. It's called the ELF Foundation, the East Hampton Learning Foundation. He was so involved with the building of the new East Hampton High School that he was part of that committee. So we didn't have enough work for him to do, so Chuck went down the road and built another building. And he's offered his financial expertise to groups like the Northampton Community Rowing Center and the East Hampton Town Library Board of Directors. Chuck, thank you for that. Yeah, you're welcome. There's a little inside there. I asked Chuck just for a little assistance a couple of years ago, and he's now responsible for the town relocating its library to a new building in town. So that was just a little work. His retirement this month caps a remarkably distinguished 24-year service to the school, and it's an honor and an absolute personal pleasure and privilege to confer Williston Northampton School's 2023 Distinguished Service Award to Charles McCullough Jr. of Boston College. Chuck, I'll sneak that in there for you. Chuck, come on up.
Well, thank you, Bob. Wow, that was really impressive. All by yourself, huh? I'm very honored and humbled by this award. Knowing some of the people who've received this in the past, recently colleagues Greg Tlay and Ann Pickrell, I believe, but also trustees and alumni who I've worked with. Jim Kane, class of '68, Dan Kane, class of '64, Earl Kramer, class of '49, I go back a ways. Kevin Hoban, class of '65, even Peter Wool, class of '67, Chuck Tout, class of '71. These are all people that have been on the trustees or I've gotten a chance to know and work with who are very dedicated to the school. But I also get to follow the legacy of Wilmot Babcock and also George Dunnington, two people who have held my position in the years and have done, I think, a very good job for the school. It makes this pretty special. But it's been an absolute privilege for me to serve the school, to work with all the employees, just in my role over the years. And I've been blessed to work with Bob Hill over the last 13 years. Williston could not have chosen a better leader, a true boarding school lifer, and for me, a lifelong friend. Boarding schools are some of the most complicated organizations imaginable. But to the alumni, board of trustees, and my fellow employees, I've seen many boarding schools all over the country. And I think we would all be hard pressed to find another school that does what we do here any better, just given our current resources. And are we perfect? No. But it is something special that I guess I would say to this, but there is something special about this particular school community and the level of care we give the students that makes it uniquely Williston. The passion, the care, the love, and support from the alumni is so important. Your interest, your engagement, and your gifts are so vital to Williston as we go from where I'd say we are a great school already to where we can go the next level. So again, it's my privilege to serve all of you. And the words of our board chair, John White, I love this school.
Okay, thanks everyone for coming. I'm going to just briefly introduce my colleague, Director of Alumni Engagement, Steve Hoyt, class of '95, just with a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Eric. Hi, how's everybody doing? Thank you all for being here today. This concludes the ceremony, so congratulations to everyone that received their award. Super, super proud to hear from you. Had heard the names, but haven't met many of you. I knew Chuck, but for many of you, this is the first time meeting you, and I'm just so thankful that you're here today to receive this award, so thank you to all. For families and awardees, please stick around. We're going to do some photographs with yourselves and the families, and this concludes our ceremony, so thank you.